I'll be honest with you guys, I really didn't think I was going to be making this video. I have been trying to get Tekken King for the longest time now, and it has been one of the most excruciating processes so far. Every time I get close to it, I get knocked back down. And I thought, what better way than to start with this Jin player, who absolutely almost demoralized me. And I was playing against him, I was thinking to myself, why is this my first match? Now bear in mind, I hadn't actually been playing Tekken for a few days, so I'd taken some time off. As you can see here, I am outgunned. I don't know who this guy is, I've never fought him before, but he battered me. Like, I didn't ever really feel like I was in the fight, but I also didn't want to give up. You guys know what I'm like. I was just thinking to myself, right, this is my Tekken King run. This is the first match I go up against this guy who is clearly better than me. But obviously, like I said, we don't give up out here. We keep on swinging, keep on hoping for the best. I just have that mentality. Also, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't this character, isn't he dressed as like the Bruce Lee character? I forgot what the name of the film is. It's like Big Boss or something like that. But yeah, so as you can see here, I'm playing really poorly. It's my first match. I didn't even bother to do any warming up. And yeah, I go up against the Tekken Emperor. It's like the game really wants to punish you. But you know what? I thought, it's not the end of the world. He's going to take about 1,000 points from me, which he did. With relative ease as well. So whoever you are, Franklin, your Jin is fantastic. And then that was the first game. It was quite shambolic, but again, didn't want to quit. I don't believe in the one and dones. I don't see the point in them. I actually really hate the fact now that death matches are gone. Before I was okay with it, but now after playing somebody like this, I was like, I would have loved to have sat and played this guy for like an hour, because I think I really could have learned a lot from him. He's clearly way better than me. He just understands how to move on the stage better than me, where to attack better. And I think I could have really learned quite a bit from him, but because I don't even have friendly matches in ranked, it's disappointing that I come up across somebody this talented at the game, this good, or at least much better than me, and I don't really get a chance to learn from them. That's not to say that they'd accept the match, they could very well decline it. So he beat the brakes off of me, well, not off to a good start, and that trickles down into this match. So this Hwoarang player, no offense to this Hwoarang player whatsoever, if you're watching this video, I don't mean this in any way, but I personally felt like I was way better than this player. And I was struggling hard. As you can see, he's taken the first round. This is immediately after the Jin player had just beaten the brakes off me. So he took the first round for me. I had a weird interaction with the wall there. This is after the patch, so this is the glitchy version. We're into the final round now. Now I'm sweating because I've already lost 2 matches to the Jin player. If you lose 3 matches, then you lose like 1,000 points. So I'm about to lose almost 2,000 points in the space of 5 minutes. But like we always say, man, you gotta have that warrior's mentality and just not give up. Things were looking pretty bleak here, and obviously Hwoarang is not the kind of character you want to come up across when you're not playing properly. But I was watching him and I was like, oh, I'm not losing to this guy, I'm better than this guy. And I clutched out a rage art there, and this is really where my luck started to turn around. It really just takes one correct guess in Tekken to turn the tide of the battle, and it can really spill over into your other matches as well. He could have had me there. That was his round to take, but he goofed. He almost had me there again, but my down back 3 hit him first. And then from there on out, after I had basically overcome that final part of the round, I kind of just shut him down after that. It was relatively easy. Again, no offense to the Hwoarang player whatsoever. I just felt like I was playing terribly, and obviously he was capitalizing it. But, you know, if you speak to somebody, they might say, oh, I was playing terribly as well. So that's why it's always good to have death matches, because you can really find out who the better player is, who's got more endurance, who's got more mental fortitude. Having a best of 3 is just no good on Tekken. And he was very quick to cancel out. He didn't want to do another match, which was fine, because I think when you're that close to winning and then someone shuts you down, you get a bit demoralized. It's not something I would do, but I understand the mentality behind it. And then we came up across this Jack player. And now this Jack player was really good, but I didn't feel like he was better than me. I just felt like I was getting knowledge checking a lot in this match. And he was very good with spacing. Obviously Jack's quite big, so he's got a decent amount of reach. He was spacing me out quite nicely, and again I was starting to like go into autopilot mode, but I was starting to clock onto a few things. And this match really made me disappointed that there's no death matches again, because I realized some things that Jack was doing, and I just thought to myself, now imagine if we could play a first to 10. It doesn't have to be for points, there could be a friendly match option. I would really like to advocate for. That's probably something that I'm going to tag Harada in. That'd be a really nice quality of life change. And he takes the first match here. I'm thinking to myself, shit man, you know, that Tekken King banner that they have, the title, it really is it's a bit of psychological warfare, which I think is good. But there I started to clock on to that move being a high, and I punished him for it. So we go into the third round here, and I'm starting to change up my patterns because in the first match he was blocking a lot of my stuff. And we go over to the final stages of the match, or closing moments. Again, it's a high. So now I've realized that two of Jack's strong moves in this stance that he has now, this Gigas thing, are both highs, which are really good. I think he probably could have got a better combo there and close out the round, but he didn't. He goofed, and for some reason he started whiffing there, and I thought, well, I'm just not going to let you get away with that. And so we punished him for it. And it's quite a beefy combo. Now I decided to not do the max damage because I wanted to save my heat, and it turned out to be the right call. So we took the second game. Now we go into the third game. This is the final round. He wasn't backing down. He was still showing that he was alive, but I was starting to clock on to a lot of his patterns. And I started to feel the tide of the battle sort of shifting towards me. He was starting to block low a lot. It was something that I'd conditioned him to do in previous rounds. And that's something, again, why I wish there was death matches, because you can really condition people into making mistakes. I mean, I've been conditioned by players before where I thought I had them figured out, but they just turned it on and taught me a lesson. And I was committed to not going to a low there because I know lows are usually launch punishable, and I wanted no part of that. I kept it safe. Came up across this Savina player who was very, very random, so very hard to deal with, but we dispatched her. She did not want to have a rematch with me because, again, they came very close to beating me because of the randomness, and I said we ain't having none of that. And then we came up across this gym player, very aggressive gym player. It was a good match. I enjoyed fighting him. He almost took it from me in the first game. I think this is the only game that I clipped from it. In the second game it was a bit more one-sided. Again, in first games it can get like that. You can fight against somebody and you don't know each other's patterns and it gets a bit messy. Then we came up across a Feng Wei player. Now, being a Feng Wei main, it can get very sticky. Like I said, I am well aware of Feng Wei's power, but we tricked him with that hop kick there. Feng Wei's hop kick is so dumb. Needless to say, he didn't appreciate that, and he one and done me as well. I was getting a little bit frustrated with the one and dones. Now, the game for some reason decided to match me up against this Annihilator rank, and I could not figure out why it had done that. Do you know what? Bro was not half bad. So shout out to this guy, and do you know what? Props to him as well, because I did beat him quite badly. Obviously, it's a new rank. I don't know why the game did that. And I was sitting here on the rematch screen. I was like, I don't one and done people. I don't care about the rank. That's the game's fault. And I thought he's gonna one and done me, and it would be perfectly fine. But much to my surprise, he accepted a rematch. So whoever you are, Zane, this Horang player, if you see this video, shout outs to you, because you got more balls than most of the Tekken player base at this point. And then we came up across this guy called Pathetic. Now, when I first fought this guy, he drove me up the wall. I could not stand the way he played King. It was so relaxed and so tame, and he was just using spacing and jabs to beat me. And I was like, right, this is really the difference in level here. This guy is not really using King's arsenal, and he's shutting me down. But of course, you know, he won the first game. I was not willing to really back down from him. I think I messed up the editing there a little bit. But I wasn't really willing to back down from him. Like we say, even if you feel outgunned, there's something to learn from the matchups, and you should definitely push on. And even though it was looking very, very one-sided at some points, I thought to myself, let's just try our best. And you never know, you can figure somebody out, and sometimes you can be lucky enough to run into them several times online and teach them a lesson. Now, the timer was running out here. I went for a ballsy snake edge. He wasn't having any of it, and he won that set. Then I came across this Nina player who was a Tekken King, very formidable, shut me down in the first game, but in the second game we were able to come back. We didn't let it rock us. You know, you're going to get wins and losses on your way up the ranks, and I know I'm probably going to lose this rank. I'm probably going to go back down to Bushin. I could go back down to Raijin. I've done that twice now. But at the end of the day, we are going to make our way up to the God of Destruction. I don't know if we'll get there. I don't think we're good enough to be God of Destruction yet. But again, my main is not in the game yet, so when my main comes out, I reckon it'll be much easier. I think I can get Tekken God Supreme at the very least. So this Nina player now is making me sweat a little bit, because they'd been hitting that grab on me successfully, and I thought I'm going to have to trick them here. So they shot at me, put some space between us, and then raw drop kicked them, or raw hop kicked rather. Now, like I said earlier, remember I said you can come across the same guy twice and teach him a lesson? well, this is that King player that beat me and really frustrated me, and I went in with a different game plan. Now, one of the big differences is that we were on Yakushima before, which is not a completely limitless stage without walls, but it pretty much is. To get to a wall in that stage is really difficult. In this stage, there was less room for him to move about, and I realized in Yakushima he was putting a lot of space between us. And I made it a key point in this match to make sure that I don't allow him to get that space. So I made sure that I stayed in his face and that I was rushing him down as much as possible. And my theory worked, and he was not as powerful as I thought he was. Now obviously that's no shade on him, he's obviously very good at spacing, that's how he beat me in the first game. But everyone's got their weaknesses, or maybe he was just having a bad game. Either way, we're about to demote him now, and I'm feeling good about that. I'm one of those scumbags that gets I feel good when I demote someone because I know how shit I feel when I get demoted. So when I get to do it to someone else, I'm like, look, I know you're having a rough day, but my day just got better. So again, we figured him out already. I've started to figure out his patterns. I tried to go a cheeky nut punch there. I read him. Now look at the damage that this rage art does. It's absolutely absurd. I didn't think that this was going to kill him, but obviously the power of Yujiro Fengma is like no other, and he was shut down. Going to the final game here, I'm hitting him with the back Kempo hop kicks so many times. I hit him with it so many times in this match. He's probably getting a little bit frustrated. And like I said, again, we changed it up. We had him figured out, and we got ourselves a perfect. And it's a good time, you know. Now we're making our way to Tekken King. As you can see there, we are moments away from becoming a king. So I'm going to let this play out. I'm going to let this whole set play out. This is the promotion match. Now, the Tekken gods decided to bless me with a Yoshimitsu player. Now, this is no shade on this Yoshimitsu player whatsoever, but Yoshimitsu is like the last character I want to come up across in a promotion match. Maybe even less so than Elisa. Yoshimitsu players are so random that I was so scared to approach this guy. Also because Flash just interrupts everything. And I know that's rich coming from a Fengwei player, considering I've got back one, which basically just shuts you down and goes into 1,000,000 damage. And at the wall can get a full combo. I know that's rich, but I feel like Flash is so much worse. And I'm not saying that Yoshimitsu shouldn't have it. It's just such a scary tool that I really didn't want to fight Yoshimitsu. But you know what? Tekken decided to test me again. This has been a running theme with this game. I don't know why it insists on testing me. But we took the first game. Now, whilst this is playing in the background, I just wanted to say that I am very, very appreciative of all of the recent subscribers that I've got. All of the comments, all of the interactions, everything that's been going on with the channel. It's been amazing. I enjoy waking up and reading your messages. I enjoy reading the Discord. I try to be more active in there. It's just a very, very sticky time for me right now. I am off to Japan in a couple of days, so there's a lot of things for me to get done, but I am trying to keep up with interactions. I do try to respond to all messages, even if they are like on older videos. I'll go and check to see which ones I haven't responded to. For those of you that have DM'd me some colorful messages saying, why have you deleted my comment? I haven't deleted your comment. I say every time when I post videos, please do not write colorful language in the comments, because YouTube will put it in my held for review section. And I don't mind you swearing at me or using abusive language. It doesn't bother me personally. Sticks and stones, you know, I've grown up around much, much worse. But YouTube doesn't like it. So I've approved all of your messages now. If you go and check your messages that are somewhat abusive on some of my videos, they are there now. If they're not, then I don't know what to tell you. But it's not me deleting them, so you know, feel free to post whatever you want. Just try to skirt some of the language, because I'm not in control of that, and I don't always check my held for review. But that aside, thank you so much for 10,000 subscribers. It is insane. I didn't ever think I would reach that number. I didn't ever think I'd have more than 100 people watching me on a live stream. I didn't ever think I'd be live streaming for 11 hours straight and there'd be that many people that stayed there consistently. There were people that are going off to get on with their days and coming back to tune in. I got messages from people saying they just had me on in the background all day. That is all extremely flattering. Now, I know some of the topics that I propose on this channel are quite I don't know if unsettling is the word, but they're controversial. And just a quick side note, I'm sweating here because he's just beaten me. So I'm really angry, right? Look at my points, they've gone back down. But I was like, you know what, this is not happening. So we jump straight into the next match. Now I'll let it play in the background whilst I'm talking. What was I saying? Yeah, I know some of the things that I put in here can be quite contentious, and I do try to diversify the content. So it's not just fighting games, there's loads of things about gaming that I want to talk about. And then pretty much anything that I want to speak about now, I just put on the channel, because there seems to be a community building. I see the same faces, I see you guys on Twitter and on Discord, and it's a lot of fun to be able to like interact with people. It's also a lot of fun to speak to people that I disagree with. Now obviously some people are just here to like call names and all that, which is all fine by me. I don't mind it. Some of it is actually quite funny. Some of you have come up with some creative nicknames for me, but I do enjoy talking to people that I completely disagree with, because there has actually been a few times where people have pointed things out to me. I've been like, do you know what, that's a pretty good take, you know, I didn't think of it that way. Fair enough. And I think it's always good to allow people to speak openly, because it allows you, gives you the opportunity to learn a bit more about yourself maybe, or learn more about a subject that you weren't aware of. And I know that sometimes things can be very right-leaning or left-leaning, and I try my best to not approach it from that angle, more just approach it from like a non-political angle, not trying to be like tribalistic or anything, and just speak from what I believe. Sometimes that message can get lost because people can be very tribal. It is what it is, you know, you put your voice on the internet, you're going to attract all kinds of voices, but either way, they're still welcome. But just to focus on the match a little bit, I was panicking here badly, because obviously this happened to me before. I was a promotion match from winning Tekken King, and I lost the match, and then I lost the subsequent 3 matches after that. I lost like 3,000 points, and I went all the way back down to Raijin, and I'm getting PTSD now. I'm getting flashbacks. I'm thinking to myself, and funnily enough, it was a Yoshimitsu player that did it to me before. It probably wasn't this one, but it was a Yoshimitsu player, because in a casual match, I'll come across a Yoshimitsu and I'll be like, oh, it's a casual match, you know, just we'll go balls to the wall. When it's a promotion match, I debuff myself for some reason. We got the win there. We can see our points have gone right back up, so we're right back in there now for the promotion match. And now I'm thinking to myself, Mike, just go for it. Like, don't hold anything back. Just do the most batshit crazy things, because that's what he's going to do to you. That's how Yoshimitsu players play the game. They don't hold anything back. They make sure to put the fear of God into you. And I thought, I'm playing Yujiro Fengma. I should be putting the fear of God into him. I am the strongest man on the planet, right? And so yeah, this is where you see me doing a lot of crazy shit in this matchup. I'm throwing a lot more things out there. I was not willing to allow him to push me around. I did mess up the combo there. I could have gotten more damage, I think. I was so scared he was going to go for flash, but luckily for me, it didn't work out that way. But yeah, so there's going to be more videos on the channel about all sorts of things related to gaming. Obviously, I enjoy doing things that spark up more of a conversation than just gameplay videos. I used to do a lot of gameplay videos, but they're not that interesting, and obviously that reflects in the viewership as well. It's just everyone's doing gameplay videos, you know, and I would only watch the people that I deem to be the most entertaining, and I think when I play games I tend to be quiet. But I have seen your requests for me to do more playthroughs, and that is something that I don't mind doing. Now I do have the membership section on the website, which I've put up there now for $1.99 because I wasn't really providing much on there, but I've decided what I'm going to do with it. And this is like an opinion based channel, and I want to keep it that way on the channel. But for those people that want to pay $1.99 to see me doing other things, I'm gonna have my Japan vlogs on there, so my time in Japan, and I've got a bunch of single player games that I play. I just sit here in my room and play them, and I thought, you know, if people are asking for me to watch them but I don't want to put them on the channel to sort of like mess with the theme of the channel, then I can put them behind the members area. You know, it's only $1.99. If you really wants to see it, then it's there. But obviously I want to keep a specific theme on the channel. I think he panicked then, he did a rage art. We capitalized on it, and we're 1 win away now. So that's the plan for some videos going forward. So all of these sort of videos, these kinds of videos where I'm either talking about my journey through Tekken, or I'm talking about something that is controversial or opinion based, or live streams that we do every week, those are all going to remain on the channel. None of that is going to change. The only things that are going to go behind the paywall are additional things that I would never have put on the channel in the first place. I didn't want to put gameplay videos on the channel again where it's just me playing like like Yakuza or maybe a Silent Hill game. That's not really something that I wanted to put on here because I don't particularly find it entertaining. But if you're willing to like pay $1.99 for it, then who am I to tell you what to do with your money, right? If you want to see that, then you want to see that. I've got no problem recording it. And then I might even do live streams for games like that, which will just be for the members, whereas the fighting game live streams and the discussion live streams will remain on the channel as normal. I do plan on doing live debates on the channel. And to close off the video, he goofed. I kind of goofed the combo there. I could have killed him. And I'm panicking now, I'm thinking, oh, we're 1 HP away, but we locked it out, guys. And there you have it. We are now a Tekken King. Thank you so much for watching the video. We're now going to go for Tekken Emperor. I hope I see you guys on the channel. Thanks for everything, and I'll see you soon.